Hi, I'm Tom Layson, and you're watching American Graduate Day right here on KBTC. Today, we're featuring stories from our own local community, local organizations empowering students to stay on the path to graduation. Learn more and get involved at amgrad.kbtc.org. This year, the legislature passed something called the Early Start Act with significant bipartisan support. Over the next 2 years, the Early Start Act brings nearly $100 million to the state's early learning efforts, in large part by building upon the Early Achievers Quality Rating Program. The Early Start Act represents the largest investment the state has ever made in early education. Joining us now for our discussion about early learning and the Early Start Act are the new director of the Department of Early Learning and former state representative Ross Hunter, Susan Barbeau, who's the executive director of Pierce County's Regional Early Learning Coalition, First Five Fundamentals, the president and CEO of Seattle-based Thrive Washington, Sam Whiting, and Ryan Preco, who's the executive policy and program manager at Child Care Aware of Washington. Welcome, all of you, to American Graduate Day. Great to have you on this broadcast. Sam, I want to start with you, or Ross rather, I want to start with you. In broad strokes, how does the Early Start Act and this new money build upon the state's early learning efforts?
So if we want to improve graduation, American graduates years from now, the right solution is to start today with the kids that we can pretty much statistically predict aren't going to graduate from high school. What we do here is we're putting a lot of new resources, so that means money, into improving the quality of our existing care system so that we can provide high quality care to the 100 or so thousand kids a year that are in child care. We want to make sure that the care we're providing sets them up to be successful when they get to kindergarten. Early Start Act takes the quality system that we have and makes that into both a requirement and a tool for us to give new resources to providers to help them get to the quality bar. It improves the stability for kids by providing 12-month eligibility. So once a kid, maybe a kid whose mom has just started working, they're struggling to meet ends meet, we're subsidizing that kid's child care. It used to be they got pulled in and out of care and they got nothing. Now they get in, they're in for a full year, and we can make sure that they're getting the quality attention and early learning that they need.
Sam, Thrive Washington did the pilot studies on early achievers, which is that quality rating system that the Early Start Act is going to help supplement. What about your studies said, hey, yeah, this turned out to be a great idea. It's really working for young kids?
Well, what we found was that there are two really essential elements to improving quality, one of which is around the coaching that providers can receive, whether they're in a center or they're actually providing childcare in their own home. So how are coaches able to go in and observe their practice, be able to provide feedback in the moment in their practice, and really help them see how sometimes very small changes can make a big difference. And the other is really that the access to resources that can help them improve their environments, have more books in their classrooms, that sort of thing really matters. And those amounts of money can be very small and make a huge difference in terms of what they're able then to provide to the children in their care.
Susan, explain to folks watching why it matters, maybe a little more than we even thought, that children have high quality childcare, not just childcare, but high quality childcare.
Yeah, so about half of the families in our state have parents that work, all parents in the household work, which means that they're going to have to be someplace other than home with mom and dad or their primary caregiver. And so a big portion is in licensed child care. And so it's not just preschool like we mostly think about of learning letters and alphabets when you're 3 or 4 years old. That can be as old as a child being 6 weeks old, infants. And so how do we make sure that all children who are in care outside of the home receive the quality that they can so that they can not just have academic success later on, but that they can be healthier, that they can have the skills that they need to succeed in school and in life.
Ryan, what does child care look like in this state? Now, the subsidized care receives this additional money from the Early Start Act, but there's subsidized and unsubsidized care that parents are making decisions about. How does that lay out big picture-wise statewide?
Well, whether you're serving kids on subsidy or not, you can join Early Achievers. And based off of our participation rates, there's excitement for Early Achievers across the board. And as Susan mentioned, quality child care is incredibly important. I mean, folks that have quality child care are less likely to drop out, are less likely to be teen parents, less likely to commit a violent crime compared to those that were in low quality care. So The Early Achievers really works to support providers with scholarships and training to improve their quality. Then they're assessed by the University of Washington, given a rating, and we share that rating with families seeking care. And so through market forces, we're really trying to drive the whole child care field into high quality, no matter what kind of program you are, whether you're center, family child care, military program, travel program, whatever.
So parents have a way to shop and make some choices. Susan, I'm going to leave this last 20 seconds for you. How do people get involved if they're interested?
Well, we're the Regional Coalition for Pierce County. There's 10 regions across the state. So in your region, there's a group of professionals coming together to think about this. So contact, look at your region, contact Child Care Aware. Just get involved locally.
Great discussion. Thank you all for being here, and thank you for watching American Graduate Day right here on KBTC.